Pisces. This is Nightbird Tarot. I'm here to do your daily collective message for all placements of Pisces for January 27th, 2026, or when you find this message is when you're meant to receive it. We're going to look at what the vibe is for the day, Pisces, and then we'll pull some tarot cards, and then I'll finish up the reading with a message from the universe. Let's call in spirit. Okay, Pisces, I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at what the vibe is for the day. Today is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. But when you find this message is when you're meant to receive it. Let's take a look at what the vibe is. I did put out your money story last night, so make sure you check that out as well. Let's see what the vibe is. Angels, guides, ancestors, what is the vibe for Pisces for January 27th, 2026? Or when my viewers are viewing this message, please. What is the vibe? What is the vibe? Okay, we have waves, emotions, worry, and fear. We have hopeful, inspired, optimistic, and successful. Well, that seems a lot like the money story last night. So there could be a sense of emotion because of past pain, past hurt. There could be fear or worry. But I feel like Pisces is being hopeful, inspired. They're optimistic about their future. There could be success coming in. But we're going to pull some tarot and see what the message is for today. It feels like you've gone through waves of emotion. In other words, there could be times when you're hopeful, optimistic, successful, and then there's times when you're worrying, you have fear, etc. So I'm feeling that wave, okay? And it could be that you've gone through some emotions where you've gone through a worry and fear, and you could be reaching that hopeful part of the wave at this time. So let's see what Spirit has to say. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling that wave of emotion. I'm feeling like, you know, how grief comes in waves. And I feel like your emotions could be going like this, Pisces. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the like, share, subscribing, the hypes, the thank yous, all of that great stuff, hitting all those buttons. I really appreciate you. It does really help this channel, and it really means a lot to me. So thank you, thank you. If you're new here and you like my readings, feel free to subscribe to the channel, please. Message for Pisces, please, Spirit, at the time that they're viewing this message. Message for Pisces. What do they need to know right now at the time that they're viewing this message? No, too many. Message for Pisces, please, Spirit. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Five of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Empress in the reverse position. Back of the deck, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, for what you don't see, Pisces, the Eight of Pentacles, it's like you're looking at all that you've done. You're looking at all that you've accomplished. I feel like you may have gone through a lot of waves of emotion. You've gone through fear. You've gone through adjustment is what it feels like, Pisces. You may have really had to work hard in order to get to where you are at this point, Pisces. I feel like you're sitting back now and looking out at that all of you have accomplished, and you're moving away from the emotions, the worry, the fear now, and you're returning back to hope. You're looking at all that you've done, all the hard work. You're saying, I have finally done it. I have finally gotten to a place where I'm feeling hopeful, inspired, optimistic, and I feel successful. And she's holding a candle, like, and the candle is green. So I feel like you worked really hard and there could be abundance coming in for you, Pisces. That you're hopeful that it's inspired, it's optimistic, it's successful, etc. So with the green candle, I'm feeling like, you're hopeful for that money to be coming in for all the hard work that you've put in. It seems like you may have been going through some type of waves of emotion, worry, fear, etc. Perhaps in the past, and you've really worked hard to get to this place of hopefulness. When we have the Seven of Pentacles here in the upright position, you've really nurtured something, okay? You've planted the roots. You have fed it. You have watered it. You have done everything possible in order to make it grow. And I feel like that's the hard work that you've put in here, Pisces, okay? It's like you're returning to better times now, okay? We do have the Five of Swords in the reverse position. I feel like things are improving for you here with the Five of Swords being reversed. There is improvement after perhaps worry, perhaps, having a headache, perhaps after, conflict with the Five of Swords. There's less chance of defeat at this time because you have put the work in. You've cultivated, you've nurtured, you've done everything possible to get this thing to grow, okay? You've come from a place of emotion, worry, fear, and you really put the work into something that has now started to grow for you. We do have the Ten of Wands as well in the reverse position. I feel like you can now let down the burden. You can now let down all that you've been carrying. You've been carrying a whole lot for a long period of time. And with the Ten of Wands being reversed now, you're letting go of that burden. And then we have the Empress, Major Arcana, in the reverse position as well. With the Empress being reversed, I feel like there has been a problem with not being able to grow something. And I feel like that's where the fear, emotions, worry is. You've had trouble cultivating something to grow in the past, it feels like, okay? There has been a worry, emotion, fear when it comes to this. It could be a pregnancy, okay? You may have had a hard time being pregnant. There may have been infertility problems, but now you're returning to hope again. You put in the hard work. You've nurtured, you've grown, and maybe there's a pregnancy here now. You may have gone through some conflict with this. Again, take it as it resonates. You can now let the burden down. Something has returned to hope after hard work here. Let's go back and clarify what this is about. So again, take it as it resonates here. Please clarify the Seven of Pentacles, please, Spirit. Please clarify the Seven of Pentacles. So we have the Emperor here. This is Aries energy. I feel like you've become a leader in your own life. You've taken reign here and taken this situation, and you've done it, Pisces. You've taken the problem and created hope. You've taken the emotions, the fear, the worry, etc., and you've turned it into inspiration, optimism, and success, okay? You've turned something into something that was bad into something that was good. You've really taken leadership in this to cultivate, to grow it, to nurture it, etc. Please clarify the Five of Swords, please, Spirit. We have the Seven of Swords here. Clarify the Ten of Wands. We have the Two of Wands, and clarify the Empress. And we have the Ace of Swords. Back of the deck, we have the Judgment card. Okay. So Pisces, the Seven of Swords is clarifying the Five of Swords here in the reverse position. With the Seven of Swords being reversed, you have really thought well. You've thought this plan out very strongly. There's a strong will in order for you to get away from this conflict within, this emotion, this worry, this fear. You've really worked hard at this. You may have gotten strong advice on how to turn your situation around from worry, fear to hope, okay? I feel like you've really put things in order. Like you may have made a plan of some sort in order to get away from the conflict within that is causing you this emotion, worry, fear from something that was having a hard time growing in the past. You really put your mind to it. And I feel like you've used your intuition with the help of the divine in order to turn this problem around. Perhaps this infertility problem or this problem with growth itself. You growing spiritually, you growing financially, you growing a child, you growing whatever it is that you're wanting to grow, okay? Whatever you have put the work into, you've been diligent about the work, you've worked very hard, you've become a leader in your life, you've cultivated, you've watered, you've nurtured it, okay? You may have gotten strong advice from somebody. You have really made a plan, Pisces, in order to get away from this conflict within, this emotion, this worry, this fear, in order to return to hope, optimism, success, and inspiration. We do have the Two of Wands that is clarifying this Ten of Wands in the reverse position. You can let your burdens down now, you know. You can separate yourself from this worry, this fear, this emotion now because you're now returning to hope. There is growth. There is new life here that is happening for you, Pisces. So for whatever this is, and I feel like in the shadow for what you don't see, she's holding a candle. And I feel like this could be that opportunity that I talked about in your money story, okay? You maybe worked hard in order to gain back more financial here with the Eight of Pentacles for what you don't see. You could be, and that's why there's 8 Pentacles here. Okay, you've really worked hard in order to make this grow. Again, the Seven of Pentacles is here. So you really worked hard to create more Pentacles, more financial abundance for yourself. Okay, or you're working on that and you're getting away from the fear, the emotions, the worry that perhaps you may have been dealing with financially or whatever it is that's tangible here, okay? We do have the Judgment card in the shadow in the reverse position for what you don't see. When Judgment is reversed, it makes me feel like what you don't see was the worry. I feel like this is what this was. There was worry. There was fear. You were not connected to the divine. You were not being inspired. You were not feeling successful in the shadow here, okay? So when the Judgment is reversed, it's about perhaps delays on your part, Pisces, in order to make this grow. But it seems like you're in a place of hopefulness now after a stage of worry, fear, emotions, perhaps about your finances, about growth, about abundance, whatever it is in your life, okay? This could be a home, this could be money, this could be a child with the Empress here, any type of thing that you've had trouble growing. It seems like you've really set forth, made a plan, you've gotten strong advice, you've worked very hard, and now you're sitting back and looking at all that you've accomplished, and there is growth beginning for you, Pisces. You've really taken a leadership role in your life here. You've gotten strong advice. You've made a well thought out plan. You've connected to the divine, and you're being inspired now. You are returning to hope. I'm not saying that you have the money. I'm not saying that you have the child. I'm not saying that you have whatever it is that you've been working hard for, but I'm feeling like Pisces is feeling hopeful again, that this is within reach. And she's reaching for that green candle here, okay? So whatever it is that you've been inspired to work hard for, it is within reach now, Pisces. Let's get some advice for you, Pisces. What advice do you have for Pisces, please? All right. I'm going to pull What's the Tea because Spirit says pull a What's the Tea to find out what this is. So I'm going to before I get some advice. Let's see what the tea is on this. What is this about? I'm always nosy. I need to know too. What has Pisces been working hard on? What is the tea on this situation? What has Pisces been working hard on that they're now feeling more hopeful about? Okay. So we have no facts, never has the facts, makes shit up, lies. Pisces, have you been like getting information on somebody? Perhaps you maybe have gotten information on somebody which has given you the upper hand. So perhaps you had a lot of emotions, worry, fear. And again, this doesn't have to be for everyone. You may have emotions, worry, or fear over somebody else that never had their facts straight. They made stuff up. They lied about it. And now you have the upper hand. You've taken the leadership here. And now you are returning back to hope, optimism, success, etc. Perhaps you've been dealing with somebody in business or something that never had their facts straight. And you did a lot of work in order to uncover that. Maybe you're a detective. Who knows? One more. What's the tea on this situation for Pisces? What is the Eight of Pentacles? Crying over you, sad, upset, etc. Maybe you've moved away from somebody, Pisces, and that gave you a lot of worry. Did you end a relationship, Pisces? And perhaps you had a lot of worry about this financially, moving away from this person. Maybe you worrying about making ends meet. It could be something like that. Who never had their facts straight. They were liars. They made stuff up. And now they're crying over you. They're sad, hurt, upset, etc. Perhaps when you moved away from the situation, you had a lot of emotion, a lot of worry, fear. Maybe it was financial. But you've been working very hard, Pisces. You've been cultivating and growing your own worth. And it may just be self-worth, self-love. It could be your finances. You're growing your finances. You're letting your burdens down now. You may have gotten advice from somebody, Pisces, in order to move on from this person. So take it as it resonates here. So some of you, you moved out of a relationship of some sort, and you had some worry moving out of that, but you're returning to hope again. What is the advice? We have the Page of Cups. One more. What is the advice for Pisces in this situation? Okay, so we got two here. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords here. Okay. So I feel like with the Page of Cups, you need to have head over heart here, okay? So you've been using, your advice is to use your head over your heart. I feel like for the majority of you, what this is about is perhaps you've changed your life up. You may have walked away from some type of partner or something, or a job or something that left you with emotions, worry, fear, okay? And now you're returning to success, optimism, hopeful outlook as you move forward into the future because you worked really hard. You've worked hard, you've cultivated, and you've started to grow your own worth at this time. And I feel like your advice is to remain with your head over your heart, okay? With the Page of Cups being here. So continue to think with your head instead of thinking about this person that's crying over you, upset, somebody that never has their facts straight, somebody that makes up lies, etc. Okay? So having your head over your heart here. There is some type of broken family, home, etc. with the Ten of Pentacles being reversed here. And then the Queen of Swords being reversed as well. This person could have been bad-tempered. So your advice is to maybe watch out for that person, this bad temper that could be within this family unit, home, etc., that you may have shared together that is now broken. Use your head over your heart when it comes to this situation is what your advice is. This bad-tempered person that you may have shared a home with. Use your head over your heart. That is your advice here, Pisces. Let me look at the back of the deck here. We do have the Two of Cups, yeah. In the reverse position, this is some type of broken relationship that you went through, Pisces. And I feel like when you walked away from the situation, you had a lot of worries, fear, a lot of emotion. You had waves of emotion. And you're returning to hope, optimism. You're feeling inspired and feeling successful after a lot of hard work that you've put in. You've cultivated and you started to grow your own life now, Pisces. You've taken leadership with the Emperor here and really dug in, got advice from others. You've left the burden down, okay? You've listened to the divine to help guide you through this change, and you are becoming successful now. Let's pull a message from the universe to finish up your reading here, Pisces. But good for you. You're returning to hope again. After some type of situation that has ended. It seems like some type of relationship ended that you walked away from. Message from the universe to finish up the reading for Pisces, please, Spirit. Yeah. Very proud of you, Pisces. You've worked very hard to get to the place that you are now. Okay, so it says, the past is behind you now, so drop the fears and doubts. I can't make this up. Even though you may feel a little uncomfortable at the moment and slightly anxious over what is coming next, you are being urged to bring yourself back to the present moment. Your recent prayers have been heard. Did I not say that? Guided by the divine. And you are currently being worked on. Well, that just sums it up there, Pisces. So leave the past behind. Drop the fears and doubts that you had, the worries and the emotions, etc. Okay? You may feel a little uncomfortable at this time, going into the future, kind of anxious or whatever, but I feel like you've put the hard work in now. There is hope coming in. There's inspiration. You're feeling optimistic. You're feeling successful. Spirit has listened to your prayers, okay? Your prayers have been heard, and things are being worked on for you. Success is coming in for you, Pisces. You're going to be feeling a lot better. Head over heart when it comes to this individual that you've left behind. There is a broken home, family, unit, separation from somebody. Somebody may be crying over you, somebody that has no facts, somebody that has made up stories, etc. But the past is now behind you. It's time to walk into the future with hopefulness now, Pisces. I'm going to leave the message there. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow for your daily message, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Please be kind and compassionate to one another. Namaste.